Last week, we motored from Moorea to Tahiti, where we addressed the leaks coming from our watermaker, but found other issues that required parts from the States. Once the parts arrived, we completed the repair and reinstalled the watermaker. But on the reinstall, we broke a fitting in the Clark pump. Frustrated and exhausted, we took the night off to decompress. Well, we have gone through all of our parts here, and we are just not sure we have the right fitting for what we need to fix the watermaker. So we're gonna take a trip into Papeete to our friends on Song of the Seas, because Grant keeps as many spare parts as we do, and we are hoping that he's gonna have what we need. Time will tell, but it's a long trip into Papeete. If he doesn't, we're gonna drop by 2 stores and see if we can find something that will fit the bill, at least temporarily. It's a little wild and woolly today. No bueno. Well, that was definitely one of the worst dinghy trips we have taken in 5 years. That was a little insane. I think we've got a big system moving in, so we've got big winds, but we've got to get this thing sorted with our watermaker. Yes.
Ah, sí. Oui.
Merci. We need to spoil Grant and Irina if they got this part. All right, we made it. Hello, hello. Permission to board?
Of course. So this is parallel, this is paper.
As it turns out, Grant did not have the right fittings, so we had some cake, and then Grant and Irina, in typical fashion, generously helped us search for the part in all of the marine shops in the area.
Do you have something like this or similar? Similar.
Okay, well, we got a step closer. We got at least the part that screws into the watermaker, so that's actually a big step ahead of where we were. So now I'm gonna go find Grant in Ace, and I'm hoping that he's gonna find other parts. Store number 3. Oh. So we got one part. We're now at Ace trying to find the next part. I'm hoping that this helps him figure it out. Unfortunately, we couldn't find exactly what we needed, but we did find a couple of things that could help with a temporary setup. We found one more thread that works, but the barb is a different size, so we got that as well, just in case, so that we have some options. So we're going to the 4th store now. Grant and Irina are such good sports. We are going to Naughty Sport, and we're gonna see if we can find the actual part that we need. We still have Plomberia, another place that we can go to, which is good. So we're not out of options yet. And in the worst case, we've got someone who can fly in a week with the part. So, you know, we've got about 100 gallons in the boat, and that can last us 7 days, especially if we're super careful. So knocking things off, this is good. This is really good for us to know what's out there.
And how about like a tea? A tea, no. Okay.
We have left Irina and Grant behind. They're headed back to their boat. They got us off to a good start for sure. We are headed to another store, and we are still looking.
So you get lots of exercise
for this.
Boat.
So it's Friday afternoon. Things are closing early today, so we've got to kind of book it to get there in time before it closes. So we're hoping this place or Plomberium have the part we need. 5th store, 6th store of the day, I think. Let's hope they've got it. Yarana.
If we have...
Oh, please have it.
Right. One for the bottom.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to find.
All right.
We've made some progress, we think. We need to find the 1/2 inch to 3/8 adapter, but we've got at least the other things that we need, so that's good. All right, we're getting lots of exercise today, and this will be our last stop because I think it's the last plumbing shop that we have in Tahiti. Amazingly, we have found a lot of imperial things, more than we anticipated, so that's good. So let's hope we get it here. But
of course, the things we really need, they're out of stock. They're sold out.
So if we don't get the part today, the best that we can do is to have it shipped in a week with a person that is coming from the United States and flying into Tahiti. So if we have to wait a week, but it would be nice to get this up and running if we could. Plumbarium. Yarana.
Your destination is on the left.
The Plumbarium did not have our parts, so we're gonna head back now to our favorite grocery store, Maxi. See if we can get some Kirkland products. So we've learned a few things about plumbing. One is if it's an NRT fitting, it does not get any plumber's tape. So that's one thing that's important to know. If it is PST, it does get plumber's tape if it's going into an NRT fitting. So if they're not matching, you definitely need to put plumber's tape on. We just got some croutons, some chips. This place has all Kirkland products, which is kind of cool. Looks like a Costco warehouse. We're headed back to the boat now, and very much looking forward to it, just relaxing tonight. We've been running around like crazy all day today. Woo, 7 miles later, and we're almost back at the dinghy. She's still there. So if we can get the anchor up. Wow, it's good to be home. We're gonna try something. I don't know if it's gonna work, but my crazy idea is to cut off this broken piece because we can't get it out. There's no ring there. And then we could always slip a hose over this part, and that would at least connect us to the Clark pump and allow us to flush the system. I think we can get a hose over this and then get a hose clamp on it. Anyway, we're gonna try and cut this off now and see what happens. So we're thinking if we can get this onto the end of this tube, and on the other end we could build this up a little bit and get this in, we have a way to flush our system. So that's the goal right now.
It's really important that we flush every 5 days, because what we're doing is we're washing the membrane, that's the reverse osmosis membrane that separates the salt water from the fresh water, and we're washing it of any organic material that may be in there, like algae or bacteria, and also salt is something that we want to get rid of. So it just gives it a nice reset button every 5 days. And if you don't do this, you're going to get buildup depending on your conditions, and you're going to ruin your membrane, and they cost about 600 bucks.
So the fact that we have not flushed for 2 weeks is really a bad thing.
It's been about 10 days. So I would say, yeah, it's been too long, but is it ruined? That's yet to be determined.
We've got it in pretty far enough where I think we're pretty happy with it. We just need to get that hose clamp on it. This should work. We're going to use some duct tape to build up the size of the barb because the barb is way too small for the hose. So we're gonna build it up using duct tape.
Hopefully we didn't add too much. We probably added too much. And this kind of squinches up, unfortunately, and that's one unexpected thing. So maybe I'll put a little bit of lube on this. Maybe we take off a few wraps. Yeah, that should work.
Once we screw this into the Clark pump, we don't want to be messing too much with it.
Normally, I'm the one that comes up with all the great ideas and all the stupid jokes, mainly the stupid jokes. But this time, the Admiral, and this is why they call her the Admiral, because I don't have a lick of sense, and she's pretty smart. She's come up with this idea, so if it works, it's all hers. If it's not, she's gone from hero to zero once again.
Here's the moment of truth, I guess.
Try not to break anything. That's my number one goal. I'm not putting any tape on there, so I'm just gonna...
That felt good going in?
Yeah, this is perfect. Just have to do this without putting any pressure. Here's where this goes. I honestly think this is going to work. So she's flushing with this crazy rig thing.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah, ready as I'll ever be.
It's on.
Okay. Okay. All right, I've got a small leak, but it's not bad. We're just going to deal with it.
Alright, good news, we've got some water coming out. We're hoping that this flush is working. Brown is down there getting a sample of the water coming out. We're hoping it's gonna be good because we've got a bit of a mess in the water maker area. A lot of salt water everywhere. Here's the water.
I don't even need to use the meter.
It definitely smells a little funky though.
Yeah, a little bit. I think that's why we need to do it. It's not real bad.
So we're running a second flush because the water that was expelled from the flush system that Brown caught in a cup under the boat had a strong odor to it, which means that the membrane has some biofouling. So we're gonna flush again and hope that we can get rid of the odor. 2 flushes down. We're gonna go check the ppm of the water. It was 255 on the last one. Let's see what this one is. The last one stunk a little bit. Hopefully this one does not stink as much.
Much better.
Less smell?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can try it. ppm's lower too.
Definitely less of a smell.
Oh yeah.
Do we need to run it again? 243? 242.
I don't think it's ever been better than 242.
Wow, 7 stingrays. The word got out that Brown was dumping his bones from his fish dinner. They were really excited. Look at them. That is so cool. Well, amazingly, the days are rolling by here in the anchorage, here at the airport. We've got a pretty windy day today. But at least the sun is shining, and we received really good news today that the parts that we sent with our fellow friends and sailors that were flying in today, SV Leeward, have arrived, which means that we're gonna have the opportunity to fix our water maker, we hope anyway. So the only problem is that right now we're not really keen to take a 20-minute dinghy ride out there to pick up the parts. So we're just gonna have to wait, unfortunately, until either the wind calms down, which it often does in the evening, or tomorrow. It's been 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks since we've been here in the anchorage. We can't believe it. Time has flown by. We're really excited about getting out of here when we can, but first we've got to get these parts, and second we've got to fix this water maker. We just went in and got our parts from Lily and Steve on Leeward. You guys are the best. Wow, look at this. Oh my goodness. Let's hope we have the right size and we can fix our water maker, because then the sailing season can begin. It's crazy to think that this, no, not that part. Yeah, I guess it was a combination of these two parts. About 10 bucks kept us from moving out of here. But not anymore.
Okay guys, we have got our mojo on today, thanks to Steve and Lily, who brought these parts back. Most important of which is this 1/2" T compression fitting that is absolutely impossible to find in French Polynesia because everybody's on metric here. I have never seen one in stainless steel before. Just from a SICK standpoint, I'm looking forward to seeing how quickly this rusts right here, because there are 27 grades of stainless steel, and I can guarantee you this is not a good one. This is what we do for fun on a boat. We sit around and wait for months for stainless steel to degrade. What we're going to do is we're going to put this, which is MPT fitting, supposedly this takes no tape. I think what did us in last time is I put tape on an old fitting, just turned it a little too hard, it broke right there. So we're not going to use tape this time. Good thing is we've got a backup. I mean, this is impossible to find here. It just ain't gonna happen. And then the good thing is this is gonna fit into the Clark pump. This is gonna pop right there. And then we have 2 hoses right here and here. So hopefully this should go well. First thing we're gonna do is put this into the Clark pump. This is what produces the power to go high pressure here with only 12 volts. I don't foresee disaster happening like it happened last time. Boy, sometimes you're just 1/2 turn away from disaster. The tolerances on these things are so precise that it's hard to modify anything to work with these unless it's exactly what you need.
And let's not forget that the whole machine is not attached to the wall.
The Admiral's getting ready to start the freshwater flush, and I will be looking for leaks. So far, so good. Wow, thank you, God. No leaks. All right, no leaks so far. Wow, it's amazing. When you have the right stuff, like zilch leaks. All right, Levy, I'm gonna go check, now that we got this under control, I'm gonna go dive in the water.
3 minutes in, it's working, so that's good news.
Nothing like an early morning water maker swim. I swam underneath the boat during the freshwater flush, and at the very end of the flush, the last minute, hold this up for the water that's coming out of the freshwater flush. And you want this to be 1000 ppm or under, really important. And you also want to make sure that this does not smell or taste foul. Now, I've just smelled it. There's no foul smell, and that's good because we went 2 weeks without a flush, so we had to flush it a lot to get the stuff out. There's no egg odor smell, which is really good. And right now we're gonna take the pen that tests the ppm and we're gonna see the reading.
The other good thing is there's no taste. The last time we did this, I did taste the foul odor.
Yeah.
So, and there's no taste. So that's good news.
And then we're gonna stick this in here. Oh, 123.
No, 730.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think we should run a flush again.
I think we just go straight to high pressure. Right.
Oh, you want to make water?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to. That's the next. So we're not out of the woods yet, but the first things that we've done are good. So we've worked the flush side of the unit, the plumbing and everything. Now, the more tricky side is the high pressure side. We do have a slight crack in one of the end caps on the water maker cylinder, and we're just hoping that's going to hold and that we are able to make water. So if we are at that point, then we will be free to leave the anchorage. So let's give her a go. All right, go ahead. We're just hoping that none of this is going to be a problem. So it's starting up. Just I want to see if this will fit in here on this side. Oh, I mean, I'm just curious more than anything. Okay, it fits on this side. It's not popping out.
Could just be a defective product.
It could be this part is defective by now. Yeah, I know. It's this side.
Okay, so let's change it out.
Thank goodness we've got other ones.
So we think the T-joint is messed up and we need to change it out.
Good thing is we have spares. Okay, that works great. And then this side. Great, these work great. All right, so we're just gonna put this on nice and easy. It's right in the thread, but it's so tight, the taper with the MPT, that you can't turn it by hand, which means it's sealing. So you hear some of that seal, which is good. That's the taper. Tapering down. I'm going to turn it one more half, and then we're going to leave it. So we're going to fit this on here. These are tight. Hallelujah. All right, Lovey, I think we're ready to go to high pressure again. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's give you an update. We are making water successfully, which is really good, and everything seems to be working fine. We do have a couple of leaks. One is from that top fitting that we probably just didn't tighten enough into the Clark pump, which we just need to do. The other one is coming from a high pressure hose. We do have a replacement for that, so that's a consideration to take the whole machine out and replace that. So we've just got to kind of weigh the benefits and negatives, but we're really grateful that we're making water. It's been 3 weeks since we were able to do this, so this is really good. Browns are tightening up some of these fittings, and we're gonna try again, see if we can stop the leak or make it a little bit less than what it currently is. All right, here we go again. Starting.
Thank you. The one that I tightened a little bit is leaking much less. After tightening this a few more, it's still leaking slightly. This is much less over here. So take a look at that. So that's barely leaking. Today has been a successful watermaker day. After being out of commission for 3+ weeks, we are now hardly leaking. We made about 150 gallons of water today, and an area that I thought was going to have a leak stopped leaking. So that's on a high pressure hydraulic pipe. Very happy about that. So I think we're shutting down the leaks. The new parts are working well, not without some trying circumstances. We're now flushing the system. We've saved our membrane. All the numbers look really good for the watermaker, and now we can look to leaving and heading to the leewards.